Hello, folks. I'm Bob Kitchen, one of the owners here at Maple Hill Golf, and you're listening to the official podcast of Maple Hill, the Hill Unscripted. Every 2 weeks, I'll bring you the real talk from inside the golf world, insights, stories, and conversations that matter to you as a golfer and a valued part of the Maple Hill family. Welcome once again to the Hill Unscripted. I'm your host, Bob Kitchen, or BK. I'm here with my friend and Mizuno sales rep, Mr. Tim Heffelfinger. Timmy, glad to have you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yes, we've been how many years together now?
A little over 3.
About 3 years
Yeah.
now. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
And before you, we had Mr. Mike Borland.
The legend.
The legend, right? We had him for like my entire life.
I think it was 32, 33
I was going to
years.
say it was like 30 years. So I've been doing this since I was 16. I'm 47. So 31 years. And literally, I can't remember anybody else. We had a lot of different regionals. We had Borland forever. And
Yeah.
what's unique about your company is you have the entire state.
Yes.
You have more than just...
And a sliver in Northwest Ohio. So
oh, do you really?
basically
You have Toledo?
Lima to Sandusky. So just that little
Okay.
corner there. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up. So it's pretty familiar with me. So it actually works out pretty well.
That's great. And so you've been with Mizuno for 3 years total, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So
So you got hired
this.
as club before that. Where at?
Most recently was TPC, Michigan. I moved up to Livonia and took that job for about a year and a half, but spent a good amount of time in Columbus. Born and raised Toledo, Ohio, and then went to Columbus during the Urban Meyer era. So,
Oh boy.
yes.
Oh boy. Well, people watch this podcast from all the states, not just Michigan. So that's the good news there. Because not everybody in the state of Michigan loves Urban Meyer. So how long were you a club pro?
Oof. Assistant for 7 years and head pro for 8 years. So just about 15
really?
years, yeah.
And God, you look like you're 30 years old.
PGA member since 2018. So
Okay.
we're coming up on 10 years. But love being a club pro. Love that side of the business.
I always get worried about a sales rep when they're really good at golf because that means they don't work hard enough. but you kind of do both. You've been with us for 3 years. And to be perfectly honest, I even told your boss at the time, I think it might have been, I don't know if it was Pete or Matt or who it was, but I said, the next one better be good because Mike's been really, really good to us. Mike got us and understood us and all that. And I met you and I was like, well, here comes this kid. Here we go. But honest to God, the hand on the Bible, it's been great.
Well, thank you.
You and I have gotten along great since day one. And
it's a testament to Mike. Like, not even you, every account. I mean, Mike he bled Mizuno for his whole career.
Exactly.
Everybody had great things to say about him. So
exactly. So I want to talk about that for just a second. When we just met a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
In a much warmer climate.
Yes, we did.
There was no snow outside. It was way better than this. So we had a good meeting with the new president, and Bochner's title is what?
Director of Sales.
Director of Sales. Okay, so the new brass that's moved in, they've been there a long time. They just kind of moved up, and Chris does such a phenomenal job, and Timmy B. We had Tim and Tim, which I love. Yeah. And now we have Mr. Henry too, and he's been dynamite too. He's on
awesome.
email. Yeah, he's been awesome. What a cool guy. So we had a great meeting in Orlando, and that went well. And our relationship with Mizuno and Maple Hill continues to be strong, and I'm very proud of that. We've been pioneering that for years, back with Gartner and obviously Borland, our rep, and lots of different, and then obviously Pete and Matt as well. They did great jobs, and obviously Jay. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's going, and we happen to be catching Mizuno on a hell of a heater.
We do. We do. That PGA show week, there was a lot of great buzz, a lot of excitement about the brand.
There was. Yeah, your guys' brand in particular is definitely hot. There's no question.
Yeah.
But the whole show had a good energy. I thought it was very well attended. We'd go and talk to the big brass at Callaway and different companies, Cobra, and they're like, there's a lot of buzz here. Like, people are excited about golf for this year. So I think we're in a very, very healthy state. I don't mean Michigan. I mean the state of golf. Like, the industry's in a good spot.
100%. I mean, rounds continue to be, flat or slightly up. And as long as people are playing golf, they got to keep buying golf equipment and balls and gloves. And so it's...
And you notice it at fittings, too? Is it busier?
It took some time, I think, for everyone to adapt to fitting starting in like late January, early February. Right. That indoor season really peaked up, 5-10 years ago, but now consumers are more accustomed to it.
Right.
So you're starting to see more action in those January, February.
Well, you guys had weird launch dates for a long time, too. Yeah. You had some September, October launch dates, which is, in this state, it's not great.
Yeah, it's tough.
But you guys have kind of got your cadence down now, and I think the consumer understands a few more things to it now. And
now we globally align with Japan, which is also big.
Right.
Sometimes Japan would launch things, and we wouldn't. So now that we're all on the same page, it's just great for
all out at once. Yeah, and the product's all the same product. It's not like a different product here, and this country is that, and this country is that. So And kudos to the people that lined that all up. That was a great move, and I think it makes it an easier story to tell, right? When you just got one story to tell. What was the first club you ever remember loving from Mizuno? Did you play Mizuno back in the day?
So I did not. When I was a head pro at North Star Golf Club in Columbus, that was my first head pro job. We had the Mizuno PFS card. So been familiar with Mizuno. Was not a Mizuno staffer at the time, but I remember selling Mizuno ST200 drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Custom fit. And so I hit that a couple times. I love that club. But when I first joined the company, I'd always been a forged iron player.
Yep.
So 923 Forge was my first set of Mizuno irons. Just absolutely loved them.
Yeah, absolutely loved them. You guys one of the first ones that made forged forgiving.
Correct.
And turned forged into distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when people played forged golf clubs, it was always kind of truth be told, kind of an anti-technology move. And it was designed for feel, and so you could work the ball and all the things. And then Mizuno's like, well, we can do both. Yeah. And then you guys have a different way of manufacturing golf clubs, right? Between grain flow forged and the chromoly you guys use, or however you say that word. But
yeah, you got it.
I got it? All right, good. I've been working on it. In the mirror. Yeah, right. So you guys have thought outside the box, and you put boron in things, and you allow the metal to get stronger so you can make the face thinner, and like, you're not just kind of following suit. Mizuno tries to be the leader.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing that we always start on is our forging's different than everybody else.
Right.
You know, in Shukoyo, Japan, I just a nice little story like. That's where we forge all of our irons, wedges, and putters now that we'll get to. But in that plant, they forge Mizuno irons, Mazda engine parts, and fast-trained rail parts.
Oh, really?
So the guys that have been there for 1 to 5 years, they start with the Mazda engine parts.
Okay.
All right. When you're there 5 to 20 years, you move on to the fast rail parts. So not until you've been a forger for like 20, 25, 30 years, do you get to forge Mizuno irons.
Mizuno irons? You got to work your way up?
You got to work your way up.
Top.
Yes.
Wow, that's an interesting story.
Right? That's what I
learned something today. I love that. I love that. Well, here's the next question on the list. What do you think truly separates Mizuno from other OEMs? Well, I guess that's part of it. Yeah, we just answered that.
100%.
You know what I thought was interesting? And I had this experience. I had the Callaway guy in here not too long ago, and I had a similar experience with Callaway too. But I'll tell you, with Mizuno, it was, honest to God, it was even cranked up a little further. So years ago, there was a guy named Bob Puccini. Have you ever heard his name?
Yeah.
He was the president of, I think, all Mizuno, not just golf. And then Dick Lyons and Bruce Riccio. I don't know if you've heard those names, but they were the head cheese way back in the day. And I got invited down. We got Fitter of the Year, and they flew me down to Atlanta, and I got to go through the Norcross thing. And Bill Price was there. You know, he was there forever, right? Yeah. Now he's across the street, but he was there forever, and he designed the shaft fitting optimizer and all that. And I'm sitting in the room, and I'm like, probably in my early 30s, I'm going to guess. It's quite a while ago. And I'm looking around like, these guys are nuts. I couldn't believe what they were saying. And like, they're up there talking, Dick and Bruce were the two bigwigs at the time. And I'm kind of just a kid in the room. Like, almost everyone in the room is older than me. I might have been in my late 20s, honest to God.
Yeah.
And Gartner's there, and some of the other regionals. Chateau, there was a guy that used to do card tricks named Chateau. He's a regional, great guy. And Bob Puccini's sitting next to me, the president, like not just golf, the whole thing. And he's writing stuff down as fast as he can. Mm-hmm. And he's taking notes, and he's looking, he's going through everything. And I'm kind of looking over his shoulder like, what? Should I be writing down? Why aren't I writing down things? This guy's the president. That's how dedicated they are to it.
Yeah.
They're just nuts about their product.
100%.
And like when Vishal talks or Price talked back then, these guys are crazy.
Yeah.
They're so into it. Like, we're going to have the best or we don't want to sell anything. Some of these companies, I'm sure you know, are very much marketing.
Yes.
And when I was talking to the guy from Evenroll, Mr. Reif, the founder of Evenroll Putters, I'm sure you know who that is.
Yeah.
He told me that you have to have a story, but it's even better when the story's true.
100%.
And Mizuno, the story's true. And I think that's what's so beautiful about your guys' brand is that your forgings, you don't just say they're the best. They literally are the best.
100%.
Like, we make them different. Okay. Oh, yeah. Everybody says they make them different. Well, we actually make them different. Like, we literally manufacture the golf clubs differently. And you can't even touch the damn things until you've been working for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, again, we say nothing feels like Mizuno. That is
if not, take your skill set down the street for the fast rail trains.
That's right.
Which is pretty important because I think that's a lot of people's lives ride on those, from what I remember about fast rail trains. But that's how important Mizuno is and how serious they take their golf clubs. So
yeah, and you touched on it also. What separates us is that a shaft optimizer too, right?
unbelievable.
I mean, that thing is just a fitter's dream.
Changed your life, like changed your brand.
100%.
You go take 6 swings or 3 swings or whatever the fitter decides, and then it pops out 3 shafts for you. Mm-hmm. And you try those 3 shafts and create your own preference.
Absolutely.
But it gives you for your swing, your torque, your tempo, all the things.
It's measuring a whole bunch of data points. Now we're doing iron shafts, driver shafts, wedge head. I mean, it's golf ball.
For us, it literally has saved so much time. And like, well, what shaft's best for me? Well, like 6 different manufacturers basically all make the same shaft, right? Or splitting hairs. Mm-hmm. It's steel. Mm-hmm. Or even in graphite. Like, you can do more with graphite, obviously, but with steel, it's steel. Yeah. You just can't do a super ton. So when you're comparing a Modus to a True Temper to a KBS, like, it's kind of splitting hairs, once you get to a certain point. But this thing, you swing it, it says hit these 3, then the person hits those 3, look at the numbers, and away you go.
Yeah, and it's agnostic. It's not a Mizuno tool, right? It's just picking shafts.
Right, right. It has nothing to do with your brand. It just happens to have a Mizuno fitting head on it, but it's agnostic, like you said. It doesn't, and it's dead honest truth. Oh, yeah. Like with Dub, right? I just did a podcast with Dub. Dub, one of the best fitters probably in the state of Michigan, if not the best. He's got preferences.
Yeah. 100%.
Right? We're all humans. We all do, right? Exactly right. Like, what kind of car do you drive? Well, I like Chevys or Fords or Cadillacs or whatever. Yeah. Okay, congratulations. Is it better? Not really. It's just a car. But does people have preferences? Hell yeah, they do. And in shafts, it's no different. So when you swing the shaft optimizer, it's just it's a lifesaver for my fitters. They love it. They use it for every single fitting. Yeah. No matter what the guys. And once you get them in the right weight and flex, it's kind of like close enough. Yeah,
and you're saving the customer swings. Like, there's nothing worse than having a fit that's 45 minutes and not long. They're 60 shots in.
Yeah, and their swing deteriorates, right? Exactly. So in 9 holes of golf, let's just say you shoot 40. Let's just say that 16 of those are putts. You only hit the ball 24 times. Right. And that's 2 hours. Yeah. This is 60, 80 swings in 45 minutes. You're tired at the end. Like, people are like, oh, man, I'm sore from my fitting yesterday. But it is kind of a workout, right? Absolutely. It's not just that easy. So what's something Mizuno does behind the scenes that golfers would be surprised to learn about? We just answered that. Yeah. Here's the next one. This one I think is very good. How much feedback from tour players and everyday golfers actually makes it into final products?
That's a great question. We take a lot of respect from our tour players. 100%. Especially, that's definitely the better player, right? Let's just call it it is. Those tour players are really, really particular about bounce on irons, shape, temperature,
offset.
And so not just the irons, but it's
we reduced the blade length by 4% this year. They're like, oh, that looks better. Like, yes, but they don't have a job, right? Their job is just to golf. So
absolutely,
what all you have to do is golf.
Exactly what they expect.
Yeah, exact. And I think that's where the S line came from, right? Like, that was kind of born out of that. Like, you had a bunch of guys playing 923 Tour. Yeah. The Mizuno Pro or MP line was kind of falling off, or at least tapering down a little bit. So you brought up the 221, 24. But I think it's born from
That's exactly it. Yeah. The Mizuno Pro line kind of got a little diluted where it was players, distance, or players. And so now we really separated to as your players irons. That's what our tour players are playing. We got all their feedback for that line. Yeah. And the new M series we're launching this year is all about players, distance. Right. It's good.
Right. And you're still going to have tour players using that too. Yeah. And the 13 and the 15. So JPX ONE. Yeah. Let's talk about, you guys are back. You got a medal one again.
Yes, we do.
We're just taking a few years off. Well, you had a club, but you kind of sold out last year.
Sold out quick.
Yeah, way quicker than you wanted to.
We did. We lowered that price to really entice players to hit the driver, which they did.
And it works.
And it works. Yeah. They're like, oh, this does work. So now we got this brand new toy that we are super excited about. Yeah. Buzz the show was phenomenal. Yeah. New material, nano alloy. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and you're back in the driver business in a major, major way. Yeah. And you guys actually held it off a year to perfect it.
We did.
Yeah, because it was supposed to come out last year.
Could have launched last year.
We're going to wait until this thing's absolutely perfect. You want no failure rates and
absolutely
make sure it sounds, looks, feels, and performs like it should.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the names, but you guys said in our meeting that we had, you're like, we were trying to beat these guys for distance and these guys for accuracy. These guys are the longest driver out there. We were trying to catch them. These guys are the most forgiving driver out there. We were trying to catch them, and we caught both of them.
Yeah.
So now you have not only the longest, but the most forgiving driver that you could test, at least at the time. And everybody else always working on new stuff too. But you got the new face on the driver. If you haven't seen the new face yet, folks, it's basically an overlay over a titanium face.
Correct. Titanium face driver with nano alloy over top. So you get the advantages of both titanium and that nano alloy to really pick up those ball speeds.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a ball speed play, but it still sounds metal and feels metal, and it's got a carbon crown. And I think the thing's just absolutely beautiful. I say that, I guess, too much. People gave me some feedback. Oh, you think everything looks like jewelry. I'm like, it is absolutely beautiful. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And I mean, it really, truly is. And the fairway wood and the whole thing, I just think that they absolutely nailed it. I like that dark color to it. I think the price point's right, too. You guys always kind of keep it reasonable. And I know you've had price increases a little over the time, but Mizuno's always offers a pretty damn good value, I think.
Absolutely. 100%.
I really do. And I think that means something to your brand, too. Like, you guys, you want to be the best, but you also want people to be able to afford it. And then you guys brought out that MX line for the irons, which I've been begging for the last...
You have been.
Your entire life, but Portland's, too. I was like, hey, give me a golf club I can sell that's well under $1,000. That's Mizuno. And give me some technology to it. You know, you don't have to make it super customizable, and it's not. It's kind of stock.
Yeah.
But Mizuno has an iron now, folks, the MX Speed Metal.
Correct.
That's what it's called, right?
You got it.
And it comes graphite and steel, same price.
Steel graphite, 5 to gap wedge, $7.99.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
7-piece set.
yeah, it's a great looking, hitting, feeling golf club. If you think that you can't afford Mizuno, you can afford Mizuno because they have one now at a price point. I'm proud that they brought that out, and I hope it's doing well for you.
Yeah, we launched it in the fall, and the other thing I think that we're really doing a good job of is Mizuno used to be known as a player's iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a player to play Mizuno. Now with MX, with JPX, and we've got offerings for every kind of handicap player.
You guys almost flipped the script as far as the consumer. There was so many consumers that were turned off to your brand years ago because they thought, I can't hit Mizunos. Mm-hmm. And then you guys were like, once that hot metal came out, I think that changed
the game.
It turned the ship.
Yeah.
And now it's like people are like, you got the new hot metals. Then they made a pro with less offset. And then they made an HL to get it up in the air a little better.
Yeah.
So it's got its own family and its own life. And I play them, as you know, and I got my hole-in-one with it last year.
That's right. Yeah, JPX for us, that's our number one iron. It's not Mizuno Pro, it's JPX.
Right. You guys have become the everyman's club, or at least every man can play it. Mm-hmm. All the way from the best player that walks in the door to the guy that's basically just getting started. And now with the MX, you've got a price point club too. So I don't know, dude. Mizuno's close to my heart. I do love it. You know I do. This is a good question. How long has the JPX ONE project been in development?
I believe it's been about 3 to 4 years.
I think it has.
You know,
they kind of let on like that.
It started out with our softball bats, that nano alloy, and they tested initially, and I think it's been about 3 or 4 years. And that's why, again, they took that extra year to really fine tune everything. Yeah. And I mean, it's been worth the wait. It's really good. Exactly.
So if you folks don't know the whole story about Mizuno, this is one brand that is not golf specific. They have Diamond, which is baseball and softball. They do you can see that run bird on my hat on tons of stuff. Like if you're watching the Olympics or any sport, there's probably somebody wearing a batting glove or a baseball bat or just literally, Lord only knows, shoes, shorts, clothing, athletic wear, tons of stuff. And this softball bat was on the winning team for the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, great. So it is being played by 10 of the top 25 college women's softball teams and used by the national champion 2025 winners, which was Ohio State. But you know what? Mizuno Nano alloy bats, we'll let it slide.
Yeah. So anyhow, they took this technology and we've seen Nike do this in shoes. Like years ago, they brought some shoe to the golf business that they had from running, and it actually translated well into golf. And then Mizuno, like these companies that are multifaceted, is really great because they can kind of steal from other departments.
Yeah.
Puma does that in their shoe department, right? What's great about Mizuno is they've got feedback and technology from other sports that they can steal from or borrow because it's their own technology, and that's the birth of the...
As we did with the drivers, and we've done it with our gloves previously as well. Yeah. You know, being a great glove supporter on some of the great prices we can get from our golf gloves.
Yeah.
So pass that along to you guys, and it's
exactly.
a total win-win.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Mizuno's just got a different foothold. Plus, it's privately owned. So like at the end of the quarter, sometimes I'm like going crazy with some of these brands, and I'm like calling up, now Chris, and before it was Jay, and I'm like, hey, what do you got? And he's like, I don't need to report in the quarter, dude. I'm like, what? So Mizuno just is a different animal completely. When you talk about a lot of these other brands, if you see them on the stock exchange, you hear people buying and selling their stocks. Mizuno's not like that. Family owned, and it is their last name, right?
Correct.
It's literally their last name. Yeah. What type of golfer will feel the biggest difference switching into JPX ONE? Well, there's 2 models.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can tell who they're for.
Yeah. JPX ONE is, I would say, more of your max forgiving, right? It's got still 460 cc's, but a more forgiving face.
Yep.
Whereas your JPX ONE Select is now your lower spin head.
Right.
And I think, I listened to your podcast with Dub. Low spin is such a difficult word to talk to consumers about, right? Especially when it comes to drivers. But JPX ONE Select is that lower spin option. Slight fade bias, so the guy that likes to move the ball a little right to left might prefer that head shape. But they're going to see, the distance and that forgiveness they've never seen with a Mizuno driver before.
Right. So 2 distinct different looks, same price.
Correct.
Yeah, which is nice. And then this one, I want to answer this one. What do you have a favorite club in the JPX ONE lineup personally? Let me answer that one first.
Fire away.
Did you guys add the 9-wood this year?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my personal favorite. Let's go. I played a 7-wood this past year to join the craze and drink the Kool-Aid like what everyone does. It was hit and miss, and once I figured it out, I got it going a little bit. But I have so many customers ask me, Tim, you must have, because you brought one out.
Yeah.
A 9-wood.
Adjustable 9-wood.
Adjustable. Oh, yeah, the 7-wood. They're all adjustable.
You can crank it up 2 more degrees.
Mizuno 11-wood, folks. Just take the 9 and loft that sucker up.
That's right.
So, yeah, if you can't get the old 9-wood in the air, we can loft that thing up. So, do you have a personal favorite yourself, like in your own testing? Or
I've hit the Select driver compared to my Max. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the feel, the sound, the increase in speed. It's really good.
Yeah. And you're a little better player, so that would make perfect sense. I think that the whole lineup they nailed. And there's a lot of hybrids available, and the hybrids are all adjustable.
Hybrids are all adjustable.
Yeah.
4 hybrids, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
We can fit anybody.
3 through 6. So the 3, they quit making the 2 because they can take that 3 down. So you can take it to 17.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is, it's hard to hit anything below 17 degrees off the deck as far as a hybrid goes anyhow. Hybrids can be tricky for some players. What problem were you trying to solve with the new JPX ONE hybrids? I think we kind of just answered that too. The adjustability
is huge.
And then you can go upright, which makes a little draw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you got a guy that comes over the top and cuts the ball. You can go a little upright on the lie angle also, which is nice. Who are these woods and hybrids really built for? The better player, everyday golfer, or both?
I'd go with both.
So would I.
Yeah.
There's only one fairway wood?
Yeah, so you got JPX ONE, fairway woods, and hybrids. We also have the Tour 3 wood, which is a little smaller head shape.
Yeah.
So that better player that wants kind of that tour looking 3-wood head.
Yeah.
We offer that as well. But yeah, they'll fit any player.
Right. It's a pretty wide range. It's kind of like Mizuno doesn't have a robust 6 different drivers like some of their competitors do, but they have one for everyone and then a lower spin version if you're spinning that one too much. And then the fairway woods, they have one for everyone. And they have a Tour 3-wood that just has a little different look for that guy. So, and I think that the lineup is just absolutely dynamite. The Mizuno Pro M13 and M15 irons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mizuno irons are kind of sacred to golfers. How do you approach designing the M13 and M15 without losing that DNA?
That's a great question. And I think that's the biggest reason we kind of went with the S series and the M series. This M series, like I said, it's all player's distance. But we want to make sure it looks like a Mizuno player's iron. It feels like a Mizuno player's iron. It's got the copper underlay that we're known for in our irons. Mm-hmm. But there's so much technology packed in those forgings. Yeah. They're unbelievable.
Every year, and you probably would have been privileged to this conversation when they brought out like the 923 hot metal, and it was so good, and we sold a billion sets, and it was our number one selling iron. I'm like, you better not screw up the next one. It's like,
right, yeah.
like the question is, you can be a victim of your own success. And some of the major competitors, especially ones that are really good at marketing, they have a certain product and then the next one doesn't do as well. And they're like, well, it's not better. That's why we're just marketing golf clubs differently. You guys are truly trying to push the boundary and keep that look and sound and feel that everybody's so used to. So, and when 241, 43, 45 were good.
Yeah.
Right? They sold really
Absolutely.
well. And then so I'm kind of sitting there in pins and needles when you bring in that bag every single year. Sometimes it's got the hood on it. He unzips the bag and shows us, and I'm like, this means a lot to me because I'm gonna either sell a ton of these or not a super ton of these. So it means a lot to my staff because it's how much product I'm gonna sell and how much money we're gonna make and how much we're gonna be able to support our staff here, which we have a great 60-person staff year round and 110 in the winter. So when they bring or in the 110 in the summer, pardon me, in season. So they brought this out and showed it to us. I'm like, yes, we nailed it. This thing looks great. They didn't ruin it, but I know they take it real serious. And as long as you kind of keep the train on the tracks, and I definitely think that they've just ratcheted up a little bit, and they did. What's the biggest difference between M13 and M15?
Great question again. So So they're both, like I said, have that copper underlay, so you get that feel that you'd expect from Mizuno. M13 has a micro slot. The one thing I want to point out about both sets actually is they're basically combo sets in their own. I know combo setting is very popular these days.
Right.
The 13 is basically its own combo set with the 4 and 5 iron built specifically, the 6 to 8 iron specifically, and then the 9 to gap wedge as well. Just like the 15, your 4 to 7 irons built.
Right.
Your 8 irons a hollow body, and then your 9 to gap wedge. So
9 to gap or just blades?
All 1025 carbon steel in both sets. So there's some similarities in that standpoint that they're both combo sets, but they're built specifically to be a combo set in its own, which is very unique.
Right, exactly. So people are still going to probably combo them because everybody in the world thinks they need a combo and they're going to outthink the company, but they really don't with these.
Don't need to
because it's so good.
Right.
And then this damn thing, dude, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
The last one was so pretty, and again, I'm like, man, and then I was like, I like this finish even more. I think this looks even better.
That new gunmetal's just
awesome. And I think I like that little black finish because it doesn't look, I like this better than the last black one because it kind of still matches the irons. It's a little darker, but you can tell it's a different animal in the bag, which I think is sweet.
Yeah, and that says Mizuno Pro, so it fits that family, but that's actually used with the same 4335 nickel chromoly or hot metal irons. So that fly high, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's designed to be.
Yeah.
Driving irons.
And you guys price them reasonably.
Yeah.
You're one of the best priced and the best made. I mean, I don't know.
Tough to beat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's the next podcast we're shooting. They're going to have a hell of a time in that seat because you got a really good product, dude.
The product makes my job easy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You got to be thrilled.
When you guys,
I work for Mizuno. You walk in, I work for so-and-so, like you wouldn't feel quite as confident. Which iron would you point a mid-handicapped player towards and why?
I'd start him in the JPX Hot Metal Pro. Yeah, that's a good player's distance. And if they want a little more feedback, a little more workability, they could maybe go to the Forged.
Yeah.
You start with the Pro, you can go either way there.
Exactly.
If they're a little more player,
if they're losing it to the right, go to the Hot Metal.
Right, exactly.
And if they want a little more feel, a little thinner look yet, go to the Forged.
Exactly. That's a great starting point.
Yeah. Because the question was mid-handicap player, which is a lot of people listening to this right now. And then, of course, your average chop like me, I bounce between 8 to 10 handicap. I just honestly play the Hot Metal because, as I've said before, golf's hard enough.
It is.
It's hard enough.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing ever. I said it before, and my son did the puppet thing. Yeah, that's one of our puppets right there. But I said it takes a long time just to suck at this sport. Just to go from awful just to being bad is hard. That takes a long time. And then from bad to respectable, where you can actually go out and break 45 most times. And then once you get down to shooting around 40, I think you're pretty darn good. You're kind of at the top. And then if you're breaking 40 all the time, like you probably are, or Kim and Eddie, or some of the, we have it's Sean that works for us. We got a handful of guys that break 40 every single round. Like, you are the pinnacle of the sport. And then there's just not many of those people.
You're probably 5%.
Maybe 2%. Literally, I mean,
it's low.
Golf's just tough. So I always say err on the side of more forgiveness, and we'll sell you whatever you want. But
I mean, look at tour players now; they're not putting 3 irons. Some are even playing 4 irons. Like you said, you got the 7 wood. Let's make the game easier.
Yeah,
if they're adopting it, why shouldn't we?
Yeah, name a sport that's harder. I always say that. Name a sport that's harder. How much of this new tech really comes alive during a proper fitting? You can probably see. It depends on what they're using, too, right?
It depends on what they're using.
How old their stuff is.
It does, absolutely. But I mean, we still see gains from year to year, right? They might be incremental, but you'll still see gains. Mm-hmm. But you get a customer walking in with irons or drivers 4, 5, 6 years old. Yeah. Their eyeballs are going to pop.
Oh, my goodness.
And you're looking at your chops like, oh, I can't wait for him to hit my stuff because I know it's great. And we're going to see those numbers.
To your point, we fit a guy the other day, had some TaylorMade R7s or racks or something from the mid-2000s. And then his gains were just a club and a half, same launch, just hotter, just way better. So depends on what you're using a little bit to that question. Is there any trends that you're seeing on the new? Is like 13 hotter or 15 hotter? Is it too early to tell?
I'd say it's probably a little too early to tell. I think the 15s they're a little more forgiving, right? So the 15s tend to go a little bit more than the 13s do.
Yeah.
Just from being a more forgiving standpoint. The driver, the biggest gains they're going to see those off-center hits, right? I think all the manufacturers, we all make great equipment. When you get to the center of the face, we've kind of maximized that.
Right. There's a legal rule.
How big can we get that core area? What we call it the Mizuno.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's what we measure to get to the most forgiving. And so that's where
Exactly. I've always said like a half an inch is a half an inch is a half an inch. So if you hit your driver by a half an inch, it's a half an inch in every single golf club.
Right.
But if you're going to lose 2% or 5%, would you rather lose 2%?
That's the difference.
That is the difference. And both accuracy and distance, right? So it's kind of like a putter with a face on it. You're trying to get at the finish as close to the hole, even if you don't hit it right.
Right.
Have you had any wild moments during fittings where the numbers just shocked someone? I guess I just said one, but you probably had that.
Last year, I had a guy who, similar to yours, he had some irons, and I think his 7-iron carry was about a 130. We put him in HLs. We got him up to 155. And it's just, the HLs. It's all about most players, not most, but several need more loft, get the ball in the air.
Right.
And they think, if I can hit 150 yards, well, if I hit it 130 in the air, it rolls out that 20. Well, you're not going to hold any greens doing that.
Correct.
Let's hit 150 in the air and stop the ball. And when you see that, the eyeballs are just like,
right.
Imagine what that does to your scoring when you're holding greens.
Exactly.
You're getting proper height.
And it's amazing to me, and you probably see it even more than I do. I've been doing this a long, long time. But it's amazing to me how many people think that less loft on irons equals more distance. Oftentimes,
right.
Not every time, but oftentimes is just a bold-faced lie. It's true on a wedge, but it's not true on a 7-iron.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not launching it properly, you need more height, dude. Like, you can't hit anything over a 6-iron. And sometimes maybe a 7-iron. That's why you guys go down to a 6 hybrid. And those JPX fly highs, too, that match up with the irons, right? Like,
perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. And it's an iron length. So the distances, you don't have to translate anything. It's perfect. Loft is misunderstood. And we'll keep shooting this podcast till I'm blue in the face talking about loft. But you need to launch the golf ball in the air to get the distance. So Mizuno has historically been known more for irons. Does JPX ONE line change that conversation?
I like to think so. So we were just at the show, like we said, a couple of weeks ago, right? And demo day, usually everyone comes into the Mizuno booth. Hey, let me hit the new JPX. Let me hit the new Mizuno Pro. The number of people asking to hit the new JPX ONE driver is awesome to see.
Yeah.
So we're definitely changing that narrative as best we can.
My own opinion, and this is literally just Bob Kitchen, not even Maple Hill, but I think that your fairway woods and hybrids have been very well respected for a long time. And I think the last few drivers you guys have had out actually do perform pretty darn good. I think ST Max was a great driver. I think for the price point, it's a phenomenal value.
Yeah.
And we've got like 8 left. By the time people are watching this, they're probably gone.
Be gone.
But I think that this is a technology story that's different than what's on the market, that Mizuno pioneered and pulled it over from the softball division, and I think it's going to turn some heads.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And I think
agree.
that they can expand on this. That's going to be just gigantic.
Yeah.
And I think also calling it JPX opens the door for more players, because it's always been something that doesn't patch up name-wise. And now if they want to come in and get JPX irons, they can get JPX woods. And there's still a lot of people that want to have a set that all has the same name on it,
Yeah, that JPX name carries a lot of weight.
Tons. It's
well recognized.
Yeah, exactly. It's your guys' bread and butter. So without giving any secrets, what kind of innovation is Mizuno most excited about moving forward? Do you know any of that?
I'm not really too privy to it,
They
but I would
kind of keep that.
I would say that no one saw nano outlet coming, right?
Right.
Nobody.
No, we didn't.
And so
Other than they said it was going to be different and cool.
world's first, right?
Right.
So I wouldn't be shocked if something, you never know.
Right.
Engineers will figure something out.
Sky's the limit. And then you guys have the new putter line that is named after the cities.
It's a cool line. It's really cool. So it's our M-Craft City Series. I alluded to it earlier, but they're forged now in the same house as irons and wedges. So it really brings that feel that you'd expect from Mizuno.
Yeah.
Each putter is named after different cities. So you've got the Kyoto, the Osaka, the Nagoya, and the Tokyo. So it's a very, very cool series.
They all come to a couple fifinishes.
Necks. 2 colors, necks, all forged putter at $299, which is just
exactly.
great price.
Exactly. So putters don't have to be $500. They can be. They actually are.
Yeah.
But this one isn't.
This one's not.
Then you still have the M-Craft X, which is the fully adjustable mount style putter.
Yeah, that was great last year.
Cool story.
Really fit consumers to different necks, different bases, different backs.
Yeah, a really cool story behind that. So you guys got it all. Bag lineup continues to be great. You got cool hats. I'm wearing one.
Yes.
I love these hats.
I know, I see that.
I think
I
this
see
might
that.
be last year's, but who cares?
A couple of new rope hats behind us here.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah. That one's dope. That white is clean.
Yes.
So about Tim Heffelfinger, here's some
boy.
actual. I love your last name, by the way. My last name's unique. Yours is really unique,
It is.
too. It's long.
It is.
It's long. I'm sure you got sick of writing it as a kid.
Sign for a house wasn't fun either.
Right. Exactly. 1 million signatures. Fun lightning round questions. Here you go. If golf had a walk-up song, what song would yours be?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You ever been to a Tigers game and they play the music as the guys walk up to the ball?
That was, that's pretty cool. If I had a walk-up song, you know what? I'm a big Hootie and the Blowfish fan.
Are you?
Yeah, which is kind of weird for a walk-up song, but it's something Hootie related.
I got to play golf with Darius Rucker once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I played 18 holes with Darius. It was like college fields. I'll tell you what. Sometimes you meet people and they're not who you thought they were. Like everyone you kind of that's famous, you kind of have built up in your head.
Yeah.
He was exactly who I hoped he was.
That's
the
awesome.
guy was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Walked him on the first tee. Actually, Daryl Strange.
Yeah.
Right. He set us up. Right.
Yeah.
Concert promoter.
Yeah.
So Papa D, I call him. Papa Desgrange, big Papa Desgrange. He's money, dude. That guy's gold. He's like, hey, I got a concert in Lansing. You want to go play golf? And I was like, with who? He's like, Darius Rucker. I was like, Hootie? He's like, yeah. So I walk up on the first tee. I said, hey, I'm Bob. He said, hey, I'm Darius. Let's play. And it was his drummer, Jeff, and the head pro there, Kerry something or other, at College Fields in Lansing.
Yeah.
And we had the best time ever, man.
That's awesome.
Like the golf course paparazzi, like the maintenance staff was out behind trees taking pictures of us. And I was like, I'm nobody, right? Like I own a golf store that's pretty popular, but I'm nobody. And I'm playing with this dude. Yeah. And his drummer was money. Jeff Marino, I think his name was. He wasn't even on the album, but he was a hired gun to do the tour for the summer. And he was super cool too. And Darius can play. Yeah. I actually had the best round of the year. I shot like 76, and I think I literally beat him by 1. And we were playing like 10-10-10 or something like that, and I won like $20. And I was like thrilled. Yeah. It was awesome, but he's a super cool guy. So
yeah, they would put on, when I was in school in Myrtle Beach, a Monday after the Masters outing. It was put on by Hootie and the Blowfish down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So I volunteered for that, did the whole carry the sign thing and concert afterwards. So it really sparked that.
Did you ever actually meet him?
I didn't know. No, but
he's just a total gentleman, man. He was really, really cool. And he's a Gamecocks fan, right? Yeah. Giant Gamecocks fan. Yeah. And I know the Dolphins make him cry. That's in the song. So, all right, Darius, I love that. Little Hootie. What's your favorite, best golfing story? Have you played with anybody famous or anything weird happened? You got any hole-in-ones?
So, great. Yeah, so no hole-in-ones. But my best golf story is I had my old home course, North Star, where I was the head pro. It's a par 5, straight drive. It darts left, and you have to cross the creek back to the right to the green. So I'm about 210 out, pull a hybrid to try to go over the trees, onto the green. Thinned it, so it's one of those head-high screamers.
Right.
My playing partners are up ahead of me. I assumed it was dead in the water. Didn't start watching. I see them yelling, screaming. They drive back. Apparently went in the hole for an albatross.
Really?
Never saw it. They were sitting there howling. It carried the creek, rolled 50 yards, and just dropped. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Out on a miss it. Did it go through the trees?
Through the trees. Wow. Carried the creek. I thought it was dead.
Well, as my dad always said, miss them straight.
Yeah.
So there you go, Dad. You got an albatross off of a straight miss. That's fantastic. No aces.
No aces.
But you got better than an ace.
What's better, hole-in-one or an albatross, in your opinion?
Boy, oh boy. People ask about hole-in-ones, so it's an easier answer.
Right.
But, the albatross is 300 par in one hole. It is better.
Yeah.
As far as the scorecard goes, it's better.
Yeah.
And I've only seen 2 in my life. I hit the stick from 220-something out when I was a kid.
Yeah. And
it went 6 inches away, and I literally had a kick-in eagle. But I've seen 2 albatrosses in my life, and they were freaking sweet. One was at Ozark National, down by Paynes Valley in Missouri.
Yeah.
My buddy jarred it from like 238 with a 3-wood. And the other one, a guy hit a hybrid in the hole blind. We actually thought it went OB. We walked, gave up, went up to the green for us to putt, and the ball was in the hole.
That's great.
So that was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
It's so rare. And I've seen like 15 hole-in-ones. Yeah. So albatross, I guess albatross, it's really cool. What's one club in your bag you could never take out? You got like a special wedge?
58 wedge. 58. You use that all over the place.
Yeah.
You can hood it, open it.
Right.
You can get whatever. You can get 120 yards if you really need to. But yeah,
We didn't even talk about the wedges, but the new wedges are great.
Oh,
They're selling like crazy.
yes, yeah.
You guys only have 34 different finishes.
We need a couple more.
I got a rack the Mizuno rack. Here you go, sir. What color do you want? What bounce option do you want? Like,
we got plenty of options.
You got plenty of options. Yeah. We don't need any more. Chris, if you're listening, no more options but they are great.
Yeah.
And I just told you guys at the show, and I wasn't lying, that at the first sale we had here in town, our Aquinas sale that we did right here in our home city, I think you were the number 2 selling wedge.
Yeah, that's right.
And I couldn't tell you the last time that's happened, to be perfectly honest. But I think the word's getting out that Mizuno's one of the only forged wedges.
100%.
All these other big boys aren't really forging them.
Mm-hmm.
I know TM just followed suit.
They did.
But some of the other ones are not. So, and their price point's a little higher. So you guys got a more reasonable price point and a really good widget. Really good widget.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And you got a cavity back, which
we got a T3, which actually won my Golf Spy's best wedge of the year in 2025.
I think that kind of pushed over the edge a little bit. And then that makes that guy look at the blade too, if he still wants a blade. So I think that the 1-2 punch right now in the wedges. Yeah, you got to be smiling about that.
Absolutely.
It's really strong. Who would be in your dream foursome?
Oh, man. Dream foursome. So the first golf memory I remember watching TV growing up was Ernie Els with a 94 U.S. Open at Oakmont. I love the Big Easy.
He's money.
Plus,
I think he's a good dude. I think he's a real calm.
He would just be,
right
guy.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods is the main reason I got into golf, right? At my age in high school. So Tiger would be number 2. And I'd have to go Scotty Scheffler number 3.
Yeah.
If they were all in their prime, can you imagine just watching that? I'd shoot 90. I wouldn't care.
Right.
Just watching those guys go at it. Ernie just kill him softly. Tiger's,
Yeah. Tiger
mentality, and then Scotty just hating to lose. I think that would just
Yeah, exactly. We were in California 2 weeks ago, and Scheffler was like, I think he was minus 250 on the odds like, to win the tournament. We're like, how can you be minus 250 in a golf tournament? I don't bet. Andy does. But we're like, it's a good field. It was a pretty good field. Like, there's a lot of good players in it.
Right.
And he's anyone.
He won.
Oh my God. You could have taken the field or Scheffler. He's kind of forgive me, but he's kind of the boring Tiger Woods.
100%.
Like Tiger was fiery and the fist pump, and Tiger was he hit crazy shots and crazy body English, and Scheffler slides his foot and all that. But he's almost that good. He's a freak.
He is.
He wins a ton.
Yeah,
absolute ton. And no disrespect to Tiger, but Scheffler's close. This guy's a freak.
Yeah, and like you said, it's now to the point where you picking him in the field. That was only with Tiger like that.
Right. Tiger dominated the undominatable sport, right? Yeah. And you're like, well, Tiger's in, everybody else is dead.
Right.
Scheffler's in, and he's got a really good chance.
Yeah.
Tiger's just electric to watch, right? And Scheffler's just a good human being.
Yeah.
You can, and not that Tiger isn't. I think the world of Tiger too. All right, back to the closing questions. Where do you see golf equipment heading over the next 5 to 10 years?
Ooh. I think a lot's going to have to do with the golf ball, right? See if that rollback happens or not. But, look, golf companies, we're not going to stop trying to engineer and get intuitive and make new creative products to just better the game and better the player. So I think it's just going to get better, faster, stronger. And,
Completely agreed. Yeah, the other guys, we asked that same question. They kind of said sky's the limit. Like, our engineers aren't quitting or taking a year off. They're going to keep on pushing the envelope. And I think that there's such a healthy competition right now. Mm-hmm. Over the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of other meetings I have, those companies talk about your company. Like, we're trying to catch them. We're trying to catch them. We're trying to catch them. And they specifically talk about hot metal and how popular and gigantic that brand and model has been. But then your forgings, of course, everyone already respects.
Yeah.
You didn't need to gain anything there, but hot metal kind of cut around their heels a little bit and kind of blew the doors off. So good for you guys. What excites you most about Mizuno's future?
What excites me the most is, really just the endless possibilities we have coming up. We talked about everybody's kind of thought Mizuno's an iron company with this new wood line.
Yeah.
We're total brand. Irons, we talked about wedges and putters.
Yeah.
So it's just now being the total brand that we are moving forward is really exciting.
Yeah, you got great blades, you got great mallets, you got a cavity wedge, you got a blade wedge, you got, forged blade all the way up to Mizuno Hot Metal HL, which is super. If you can't hit that, Maybe we need a different sport. Maybe bowling.
It's time here to go bowling around here.
It is. Yeah, right now it is a bowling day today. But yeah, you guys have really covered the field. Your blanket is a lot bigger than it used to be.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is nice. So, and then the last question, I'll answer this partially to begin with, but where can golfers learn more to get properly fit for the 2026 Mizuno clubs? So we also have a link on our website. If you go to maplehillgolfs.com, our homepage, scroll down to the bottom, it says special events. Then there's demo days and golf show schedule. Click on that, and you'll see when Tim or one of his staff will be here for the actual fittings. And then, of course, Maple Hill is a fitting cart. We do a few fittings.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. We're still a top 100 fitter in the country. There's only 3 in the state of Michigan. We're the only one that's this side of Detroit. The other 2 are over on that side of the state. So Tim Heffelfinger, my Mizuno rep, and my bud, I can't thank you enough for being on the podcast today. And we'll get this edited and aired and out to the world once the powers that be with the sign off on it. But thank you very much, brother.
Hey, thank you.
Really appreciate you coming on, and
appreciate you having me. A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So look for Tim at all of our future demo days and all that. And new episodes drop every other week, so be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next time, be good to one another. Take care of each other. And I'll be back next time. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one.